just your friendly neighborhood sisters. But if I'm here to talk about them, then something pretty crazy happened. These are the Papin sisters. One is Leah and one is Christine. Both of them were born in a very dysfunctional family. They were raised by their aunts, uncles, and a Catholic orphanage. Christine was born in 1905 while Leah was born in 1911. Both of them had an elder sister called Amelia, and she was a nun. Christine wanted to become a nun as well, but their mother forbade it. And so after that, both of them were employed as the help for the wealthier families. In the 1926, both of the sisters were employed as live-in maids for Renee Lancelin. I hope I'm saying it right. Now, Renee Lancelin was a retired solicitor who lived in Le Mans, France, with his wife Leonie and his adult daughter Genevieve. At first, as it appeared, everything seems fine. They ate the same food as the family, they had heated rooms, and they were paid standard for their timing. And on the other note, Christine also pretty impressed them with her needlework and cooking. The first messed up thing about their job is that they had to work 14-hour days with only one half day off each week. And the other messed up thing is that the mistress, Mr. Leonie Lancelin, was a demanding bitch. She often performs white glove tests throughout the house and chastised the sisters if there's any failure of hygiene. Not even a tiny single spot of dirt can be missed in that house. Fast forward to February 2nd, 1933. Mr. Lancelin was supposed to meet his wife and his daughter at a family friend's house for dinner. It was getting late and the mother and daughter did not show up. Obviously, he was concerned and he went back home. Wasn't prepared for what was coming. The doors were locked from the inside. It was dark, but he could see the glow of candle from the windows of the maid's room. Mr. Lancelin got himself to the police and one of the police officers climbed over the back wall. Right after he opened the door, they saw Mrs. Lancelin and his daughter's body on the floor. They were beaten until the point of being unrecognizable, and Genevieve's eyes was found nearby on the floor, and the other eye was on the stairs. Leonie Lancelin's eyes was found on the fold of her scarf around her neck. And of course, the police then rushed to the maid's room expecting them to be in a similar state, but they weren't. They were found huddled in bed together, naked, and right beside them laid a hammer with blood and bits of hair. Upon being questioned by the police, the Papin sisters immediately confessed, and then they explained. The sisters claimed that Leonie and Genevieve were gone for shopping, and they were back home before dinner, and the house was dark, and the mistress wasn't pleased. They told Mrs. Lancelin that the power went out because Christine Papin plugged in a faulty iron. The sisters told the police that Mrs. Lancelin started attacking them, and later Genevieve joined. In order to defend themselves, they had to fight back. They used a pewter pitcher, a hammer, and then stabbed them with a knife that they got in the kitchen. The observer of the body found out that their body has been scored as bread loaves. If you guys really want to see the picture, you can find it in the internet. I saw it, it was very disturbing, and I don't want to put it in here. Once it was done, they locked all the door and went to their room. Some people out there claimed that it was the exploitation of the workers. During the trials, Leah was given 10 years of imprisonment because she was dominated by Christine, while Christine, the average intelligent mind, was sentenced to death. Later, Christine's death sentence was commuted to life imprisonment, which was pretty common for women cases. The sisters were jailed separately, and because of this, Christine was so depressed that she couldn't meet Leah. Christine was severely depressed until she started showing signs of her madness. She will not frequently eat, and they also claim that she tried to claw her own eyes out at one point. Later, she was transferred to a mental asylum, and it is claimed that she died there because of wasting away in the 1937. Well, Leia Papin, on the other hand, was transferred in 8 years because of good behavior. She later joined her mother as a hotel maid with a fake identity. Leia was thought to be dead in the 1982, but later this was questioned by a French filmmaker. He claimed that he saw Leia alive in France and she was partially paralyzed, and she was shown in one of his films. And now this Leia was claimed dead in 2001. Although it is not known that this French filmmaker had any documentation to prove the identity of Leia that he has found. He claimed that he saw Leia alive in France and she was partially paralyzed, and she was shown in one of his films. And now this Leia was claimed dead in 2001. Although it is not known that this French filmmaker had any documentation to prove the identity of Leia that he has found.